Loneliness by Bruno Schulz. It is with great relief that I feel able to go out again. But for what a long time was I confined to my room? These have been bitter months and years. I cannot explain why I have been living in my old nursery, the back room of the apartment, with access from the balcony, which was rarely used in the past, forgotten, as if it did not belong to us. I cannot remember how I got there. I believe it was during a bright, watery, white, moonless night. I could see every detail in the dim light. The bed was unmade, as if someone had just left it, and I listened in the stillness for the breathing of the people asleep. But who is likely to be breathing here? Since then, this has been my home. I have been here for years, and am rather bored. Why didn't I think in advance about stocking up? You who still can do it, who still are given time, make provisions. Save up grain. Good, nourishing, sweet grain, for a great winter of lean and hungry years lies ahead, and the earth will not bear fruit in the land of Egypt. Alas, I was not provident like a hamster. I have always been a light-hearted field mouse. I have lived from day to day without a care for the morrow, trusting in my starveling's talent. Like a mouse, I thought, what do I care about hunger? If worse comes to worse, I can gnaw wood or nibble paper, the poorest of animals, a grey church mouse, at the tail end of the book of creation. I can exist on nothing. And so I live in this dead room. Many flies died in it a long time ago. I put my ear against wood to hear the sound of a woodworm. Deadly silence. Only I, the immortal mouse, lonely and posthumous, rustle in this room, running endlessly on the table, on the shelf, on the chairs. I run around, resembling Aunt Thecla in a long grey frock, reaching to the ground, agile, quick, and small, pulling behind me a mobile tail. I am now sitting in bright sunlight on the table, immobile, as if stuffed, my eyes like two protruding, shiny beads. Only the end of my muzzle pulsates imperceptibly, by force of habit, in minute chewing movements. This, of course, is to be understood as a metaphor. I am really an old-age pensioner, not a mouse. It is part of my existence to be the parasite of metaphors. So easily am I carried away by the first simile that comes along. Having been carried away, I have to find my difficult way back, and slowly return to my senses. What do I look like? Sometimes I see myself in the mirror, a strange, ridiculous, and painful thing. I am ashamed to admit it. I never look at myself full face. Somewhat deeper, somewhat farther away, I stand inside the mirror, a little off-center, slightly in profile, thoughtful and glancing sideways. Our looks have stopped meeting. When I move, my reflection moves too, but half turned back, as if it did not know about me, as if it had got behind a number of mirrors and could not come back. My heart bleeds when I see it so distant and indifferent. It is you I want to exclaim. You have always been my faithful reflection. You have accompanied me for so many years, and now you don't recognize me. Oh my God. Unfamiliar and looking to one side, my reflection stands there and seems to be listening for something, awaiting a word from the mirrored depths, obedient to someone else, waiting for orders from another place. Mostly I sit at the table and turn the pages of my yellowed university notes. My only reading. I look at the sun-bleached curtain, stiff with dust, waving slightly in the cold breeze from the window. I could do exercises on the curtain rod, an excellent bar. How lightly one could turn somersaults on it in the sterile, tired air. Almost casually one could make an elegant salto mortale, coolly, without too much involvement. A speculative exercise, as it were. When one stands on tiptoe, balancing oneself on the bar, with one's head touching the ceiling, one has the impression that it is slightly warmer higher up, the illusion of being in a warmer zone. Ever since my childhood, I have liked to have a bird's eye view of my room. So I sit and listen to the silence. The room is whitewashed. Sometimes on the white ceiling a wrinkle-like crack appears. Sometimes a flake of plaster breaks off with a click. Am I to reveal that the room is walled in? How can that be? Walled in? How could I leave it? That is just it. Where there is a will, there is a way. A passionate determination can conquer all. I must only imagine a door. A good old door, like the one in the kitchen of my childhood, with an iron handle and a bolt. There is no walled-in room that could not be opened by such a trusted door, provided one were strong enough to suggest that such a door exists.